Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, I wasn't sure about doing this champion guide, and then the more I've seen of this champion in play, the more ridiculous I think he is. I actually think he's one of the best epics in the game as a hard carry, and he's also strong enough to basically go right through to plat level arena play. I'm just going to show you a little clip from my stream last night where I went up against him, probably for the first time that I've really realised I'm going up against him. And watch this fella here. So Vogoth is going to be the champion we're going to build out. I went up against him with an arena team that I built out last night, just kind of enhancing some of my builds. And I was at the top of plat at this point. So we're up against like the big boys here. And watch when my ethos does a slam after this. So drop defense of the enemy, ethos slam now. Watch this. I actually use my A2 here, I think, because I'm trying to show the stream something about Rotos. But watch the healing that the enemies get. It's like I didn't even attack them. It's like I threw them a little tickle. And this is an ethos which is stacked. So kind of gives you a sense of what he is capable of. This is the ethos that just hit that team. Savage and Cruel Gear, 5.9k attack, 240% crit damage, and he's tickling them. And that is because of this boy. This fella. Vogoth. So Vogoth, Sleeper OP. Sleeper OP, right through to the proper end game. And I've got to say, it's come as a bit of a shock to me. So... and I'm sure people have done videos on this already, but I just haven't caught them. But yeah, Vogoth is a beast. An absolute beast at keeping your team alive. And I was shocked last night to the point where I was like, damn, I need to do this video now. This is it. So what's he all about then? Vogoth, everything he does is based on HP. Okay, so if you build attack on him, it does 0. You build defense on him, it helps him stay alive. But ultimately, you want to stack HP high. So what's he got? Triple hit A1. Each hit has got a chance to increase the duration of a random debuff. I like that. It's a good A1, solid A1. You could put something like Giant Slayer on him, run him in Clan Boss, and you're going to get some value out of an A1. A2, attacks all enemies, 60% chance, books up to 75 of placing Provoked for 1 turn. It's a reasonable A2. Basically, you're hitting a wave. You're going to get 3 out of 4 on a Provoke, as long as you've got the accuracy to do it. Also, 60 books to 75% chance of putting decreased attack on. So decreased attack, really relevant against a lot of boss fights, against faction war fights, against waves of content. So he places this decreased attack for 2 turns on anyone who gets to provoke. Okay, solid. Solid A2. And then all he's got is passives after that. So if you're running him against something like Vogoth, the new dragon, I think he's solid for this because he's only got 2 abilities that can cool down. They're on a low cooldown, or 1 ability that can cool down, and it's on a low cooldown anyway. Provoking the ads is kind of cool on that fight, so that works. And increasing debuffs on the main dragon is kind of cool as well. So I feel like all of that works. It's such a shame that you cannot provoke Vogoth, because he's also got a chance here. If an attacker under provoke placed by this champion attacks him, 70% chance, books to 100% chance of increasing the cooldown of a random skill by 2 turns. That's actually broken as well. It's a crazy, crazy passive. If that worked against Vogoth, he would be maybe the best epic in the game for that fight. But it doesn't, so it's a shame. But it's still a good passive. So, you know, anyone who attacks him that's provoked is going to start to lose abilities. It's actually nuts. And that's why I think we're seeing him in that high-level arena play, because that is nuts as a move. We've then got here another passive. Whenever this champion is attacked, heals all allies. This is what we saw in that clip I just showed you. Heals all allies by 50% of the damage received. 25% if it's against bosses. So, if he can stay alive and a Trunder's smacking him, then he's healing everyone by 50% of that damage. So what we just saw there was I did big hits, but he was topping up because I did the Ethos A2, basically what's happening is every hit that Ethos was landing, 50% of that damage was being healed for my whole team. It's actually kind of gross. And if you then compare that to areas like Doom Tower, where you've got loads of wave content, faction wars, anything with waves, this ability here is disgusting. It's so gross. He's got increased accuracy in all battles as well. I honestly think he's going to be one of the best epics in the game for support. So how have I built mine then? I've actually gone for a Swift Parry set. Don't forget, Swift Parry, there's a 50% chance that when he takes a hit, he doesn't sit down. 50% chance he just stays alive. And if he stays alive, all of that healing is going to help your team. So don't sleep on a Swift Parry set on him if you can do it. If not, just a high HP build with good speed and a decent amount of accuracy. So I've got 80k HP here. 2.5k defense is fine. The more defense you stack, the less he's going to get hit for, the less he's going to heal. So bear that in mind. 218 speed, 200 accuracy is my build. And in terms of masteries, I was chatting to Scratch on this. Scratch is a really good endgame arena player. So in terms of masteries, I've picked his brain on what he would go for. And he's actually gone for Bulwark, which I thought would be the best one anyway, but Bulwark feels right. So he's taking damage from other people. And obviously, the more damage he takes, the more he heals everyone for. So this is quite a nice top tier mastery for him. And then things like reducing damage here, Resurgent, basically the best mastery in the game for most level play, for most arena play at least. And basically get to his turn quicker with this one, Cycle of Revenge, reduce damage from other people again here, so he's taking that damage instead. And then we've got like an HP and healing tree on the support side. You could definitely build him if you're going into something like Clan Boss with, offense into Giant Slayer. I think that would be good. But I think this build actually works anywhere outside of Clan Boss. So there you go. Let's try him out. It's literally the first time I'm taking him for a run anywhere. I guess we try him in basic dungeon content first. The one area where I feel like he's going to be strong is just Ice Golem. You're taking big hits. He's going to help heal you through some of that stuff. You are... actually just need to screenshot this team so I remember what it is. I finally got a team that's working well. Yeah, you're taking big hits and he's going to be able to heal you through that. You are looking to provoke the waves, certainly wave 2. Provoking that wave is going to be huge. Getting the leech abilities off is going to be big. So let's get a team going here. Okay, so we're going to go with a team like this. I've got Phoenix in to try and block revive of the ads. We've got a decreased defense champion and some poison for the boss. Speed, shield set, reliquary tender, and a revive if all things go wrong. And then Vogoth in there as a kind of healer champ. Let's see how we get on. Honestly, I think he's going to be so good for this dungeon and for Fire Knight as well with that triple hit. But yeah, provokes on 4 of the ads. We get a decreased defense out there from our Tomb Lord. He's hitting for okay numbers. He's not going to be a damage dealer, to be honest. But, that's not what he's there for. But he's just taking all of the aggro. Obviously, at this sort of level, we're not healing because all they're doing is hitting into shields right now. But as soon as they start hitting into his actual life pool, then everyone starts to heal on the back of that as well. Just feel like he's got so much going for him in his kit. Bam, there it goes again. It's actually quite good as well. 27k on the AoE hit on a crit. It's not bad. It's not bad numbers. But don't forget, it's on a 3-turn cooldown. So when we get to this next set of ads, where you do need to try and control them, ideally you've got your provoke back there. I don't have it back yet. I need one more turn. Don't know if we're going to get it in time. We might do. Yeah, there we go. Provoke comes out now. Provoke the 2 nasties at the front. They're not going to do their passive shriek ability. So very cool. Let's get us onto the boss fight. Okay, so onto the boss fight here. Obviously, when he's just in this kind of limbo mode without his A2, then there's not much going down. But he will be able to... He would drop decrease attack there. I've already got it from my Tomb Lord as well, I guess. So it's not as big a deal. But at this point, see the multiple heals that are just kicking in. It's kind of gross. Hopefully we get a block revive on these ads from Phoenix. That's what Phoenix is in there for. Oh, not quite. Nearly. Obviously, we can't provoke a boss, but we do have a leech ability on because of Vogoth as well. And he's taking damage from everyone else, which just relieves the pressure on these guys. This is a hard fight. You know, when there's no decreased attack down, it's a really tough fight. But Vogoth will bring that as well. Increasing the debuff duration here. I just think he's like totally solid for this fight. Unfortunately, provokes don't do anything for these side ads. I think they just do their abilities as normal, actually. Yeah. Which is silly. I don't think that should be the case. I don't think that should be the way it goes down. But for sure, Phoenix is taking a much bigger hit here if Vogoth was not with that kind of mastery setup and not on that sort of line. You see how easily we're healing up. It's just kind of like crazy. Crazy supporting act. And then when the big hits come in, I mean, we're healed to full anyway because we've got a decent kind of setup in terms of protection. But we would have got, what, like crazy heals off of that hit there. No problem at all. So for this fight, I think is great. I'll show you Finite as well. I'm actually going to try and run the same team here against Finite just because I think it's always useful to see one team able to do more than one job. And I feel like this team actually is pretty well balanced. Decreased defense, decreased attack, support from Vogoth, resurrection if we need it. It's kind of got everything you need for most fights, really. So obviously the thing here is Apothecary is going to be a tank because he's the wrong affinity. But because of the provokes, we've got enough of the enemies coming into Vogoth as a secondary. So Apothecary might take a hit. Great. Vogoth will just heal him up when that provoke comes in. And you've almost got like a double heal going on here. Pretty cool. And then we got the provokes off again. No problem. Gives our team, our damage dealers, time to get that job done. It's only really Phoenix and Tomb Lord that are doing any damage here. Again, like when people are hitting him, throwing out the leech, it's actually, his kit is kind of crazy. It's kind of nuts. Like the more I'm seeing him played, the more I feel like he can just play anywhere in the game. I've updated my website just to improve some of his stats slightly on my tier list. They were already high anyway, but I feel like he's probably better than I gave him credit for. And again, we've got provokes on 1, 2, 3 of the enemy here, giving our team time and support just to stay alive. We're not even getting really broken through this shield set here. Reliquary Tender's shield set, we're barely going through it. When it does go through it though, Bulwark and those couple of masteries are just sucking up some of the damage that this Phoenix would take. And then when he's taking hits, we're healing. Wow. What a kit. What a kit he's got. Honestly, it's like broken good. As a support unit. For those people that are struggling to get through content, we're not talking speed run teams here. That's not what he's about. We're talking about ultimate support tank unit. Love it. Everyone's healed to full. We're going to get into the boss fight. Full health. And don't forget, he's got a triple hit A1 and only one other ability. So we're going to get that triple hit into the shield pretty frequently. Fortunately, they're all doing their silly abilities like they do. There's the triple hit, so we get through the shield there. We don't have too much in terms of turn meter control, I guess, so maybe I'm going to be a bit in trouble here. Maybe I should have taken Reliquary Tender out and swapped in someone like an Armiger. Probably should have, actually. So we've got a few triple hitters here, that's good. But yeah, in terms of actually keeping the turn meter down, it's probably just going to be impossible. And I don't have a heal reduction. But, you know, we're taking big swings from the Ice Golem, not the Ice Golem, from the Fire Knight. Doesn't matter, he's protecting the team. So, you know, it depends how long the fight goes on for. Maybe I do have just enough to do this. Not sure. We've got decreased speed out. We do have, once we get below 50%, Tomb Lord actually does steal turn, or reduces turn meter. It's whether we can get there or not. Anyway, I'm going to see this through, see if this actually works or not, and then I'll show you something else. Well, we did do it, actually. So, not too bad. Once we got below 50%, Tomb Lord just took over the game and wrecked this guy. But yeah, that's nice. I wonder if... I guess for Dragon, look, I'll show you Dragon 20. Anything up to Dragon 20 is going to be insane for, by the way. Just as a total carry. But for Dragon 20, where he is the negative affinity, he can come in, give you more accuracy for your poisoners. So that's going to be nice. It's anywhere that works. You're kind of running the same sort of team again, really. You could be running these three. He comes in as your tank unit. And then you just need a bit more poison to get over the line. So I feel like he can do the job. I'm not going to show you a full run because it's fairly dull. But ultimately, he can provoke the team, the waves, deal with all of the damage that's coming in. And against the dragon boss, he's going to soak up a lot of that damage for the rest of your team. So again, super hard carry for that type of stuff. And I think similar with Spider, really. Like, depends on what sort of comp you're running. But you can bring him in as your tank unit as long as you're not running a load of force champions. Now, if you wanted to run something like a HP burn strat, he could come in as your tank unit. Let's try it out, actually. I would probably try and push his resistance up if I was going to do that. Because, I mean, maybe you actually still run an off tank and him together. Let's just see what we can do here. Honestly, I'm not sure if this is going to work, but what we're doing here, we've got Gorgorab coming in as my increased attack champion, which activates my burn from Gaelic. We've got freezes going on with Akak, turn meter here, tank unit. So he's going to provoke a ton of the enemy spiderlings. Akak's then going to be the force affinity champion. So if they're not provoked, they're going to go for Akak. And I feel like Vogoth and Akak together just kind of like heal the whole team. Potentially broken, actually. Potentially broken as a comp. As I say, I've not tried this before, but just feels like it should work. So we should get buffs out here, yes. Increase attack. Bit of turn meter control going on. Provokes and decrease attack. So decrease attack means we're just not taking too much damage. Anyone who's not provoked is going into my force affinity tank. We're getting turn meter gain from Akak's abilities. We're getting healing from Akak's abilities as well. We're getting healing from Vogoth. And then basically it's just down to, can we burn these spiders to death? And it looks like, I mean, we don't have the miscreated monster massive shields going on here. But who's taking any damage? Seriously. Who's taking any damage right now? It's kind of crazy. Between the two of these guys, these two epics, we are just wrecking this spider. So for anyone who's kind of, struggling with, I can't get through the healing requirement of Spider, then this feels like, this double act here is kind of broken. So far, the Spider's not had a turn. It's going to get a turn in a minute. I think it's probably going to reset in a second. The reset might help us here, actually. Depends when this burn's going out. It's probably going out at the wrong time. Don't know. Might be all right. You almost want the reset before the burns go out again, really. But we're not in any trouble. We're in so little trouble right now. It's mad. And we're about to get another provoke out. So we relieve Akak his damage. The provokes start to draw the damage into Vogoth. When Vogoth's taking a hit, he's healing Akak back up. Damn it. We might even kill it before it even gets a turn. How is that? Wow. How easy is that? Obviously, all the damage is coming from the burns there. And, if you've got Mordecai, he does this job as well. But Vogoth just bringing so much to this team. Any dungeon. Doesn't matter the dungeon. No problem at all. So against Clan Boss, I think he's doing a number of things. He's giving you a leech ability here. Places a leech whenever he's attacked. Perfect. He's giving you extra healing as well when he's taking damage. If you put Giant Slayer on him, you're giving a triple hit Giant Slayer proc. Each hit as well, 40% if you book him, of increasing the duration of one random debuff. I feel like he's just solid for Clan Boss as well. His A2 doesn't do anything. He can't provoke, therefore he can't place decrease attack. So he's not bringing you any utility other than straight up healing. And he's also got an increased accuracy in all battles aura. So I feel like in Clan Boss, he's solid as well. Definitely for like a mid-game, mid-tier team trying to push their way through Nightmare. So let's just check him out on a Doom Tower wave. Let's start hard somewhere. I don't know, around 50 odds. Nasty team. Again, let's get rid of all of the big boys. I think we'll throw Sil in because she's just very good anyway. And then we'll just go, I don't know, maybe High Cartoon. Some speed. Bring Vogoth in for his healing. We'll bring a Stag in to decrease defense. And I don't know. Maybe a Phoenix again. Just because I've been using him a bit. So yeah. What's he doing here then? So he's provoking enemies. And it's on a 3-turn cooldown, which is really important in Doom Tower because it's nasty. Nasty stuff. And all the time you've got that going on, you're basically just giving your damage dealers time to do their job. It's no different from everything else we've spoken about. Look how much relief he gives your team. Phoenix normally is so squishy. He should be dead. He should be dead already with the hits that are coming in. We're talking about hard level 50. These guys hit hard. But we get the relief on the provokes. We get the bulwark mastery stuff coming in here to protect the team. It's just so good, guys. Honestly, as a defense support unit, now he's taking the damage. Everyone's healing from that damage. Honestly, so good. And that's just going to get you through waves of content. And in terms of actual boss fights, obviously he's got the provoked, which is going to help you against Magma Dragon. He is the positive affinity to fight Magma Dragon as well. So, yeah, that feels pretty good. Feels very good, actually. Other boss fights, he can be a healer. There's nothing else that's going on for him for the other boss fights. I guess, for the Frost Spider, he's going to be bringing Leech and stuff like that. But, yeah, solid. Solid champion. Pretty much anywhere in the game. So we're going to come to the last thing that I'm going to show you then, which is the arena fight. Now, for arena, I think he's mainly a defensive setup champion. So if you're going to run him in an arena defense, I think he can be good, like you saw in my clip. So let's refresh and get a more offensive team. So this one here, Deathbreaker. This looks like a straight up offense, okay? Straight up standard offense. So I would be running him in a defense that looks a bit like this. So probably not you. Probably maybe a shield set somebody. Or maybe a warlord like this. And perhaps a Torment, something like this. So you've got a revive chance here. You've got someone who's soaking up damage for your team. You've got Warlord to lock out their abilities if we get a turn. And Torment actually is my damage in this setup. There's actually someone I want to call out. There's a YouTuber called Mac Chan, who does quite a lot of high-level arena videos. I don't know if he's done anything on Vogoth, to be honest, but in terms of seeing some high-level plat-style builds, how you use champions, I've started watching some of his stuff, and honestly, really, really good. Really interesting. I've been learning some stuff from him as well, so definitely someone to check out. But you see here, so we lock out their abilities with our Warlord. Vogoth is kind of tanking up some damage. We get a couple of provokes out. And honestly, at this point, as a defense, he's soaking up damage from the rest of my team. At this point, I mean, obviously we've won this fight, but, that as a defense is awfully difficult to deal with. Let's try and find another one. Perhaps someone who's just a bit stronger. Maybe a hedgy team with Rotuses and stuff. Awful, disgusting comps like this. No one wants to fight these teams with all this stuff going on. Obviously, if it's your defense, you just go auto. But straight there, that healing mechanic when you take a bunch of damage from a hedgy is massive. It's absolutely massive. It gives you a chance to get into the fight. And honestly, in high-level arena for sure, but any level of arena, that's the main thing you're trying to do. Get yourself into the fight. Give yourself a chance. Because the offense has got all of the advantage of knowing what to face, what they're facing, and therefore knowing what they need to do. So as a defense, it's incredibly difficult to win. But you can see here, I mean, we've still got resurrections coming up and all sorts of stuff. So it's definitely not like in the bag yet. But, you know, this is a strong team that we're fighting here. Really strong team. And maybe we do just straight up win it. Bam. Sit down, fellas. You know, that is Vogoth really doing his job. And all he's doing is just soaking up damage from everyone else and healing them at the same time. It's pretty broken. We will see this guy popping up more and more, I think. So, there you go, guys. Look, I mean, wow. What a support unit epic. What a support unit epic. Don't sit on him. Really solid champion. I've been Hell Hades. I will see you later.